Up next is Birch, a personalized credit card rewards experience. Alexander Cohen, co-founder and CEO. Welcome, Alexander.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Cohen. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Birch. And we're on a mission to help people get the most out of their everyday spending through their credit cards. So we have a big problem in the US. There are hundreds of credit cards available, so if you've shopped for a credit card recently, you've probably read tons of blogs and did research, put together Excel spreadsheets, and ultimately, you probably ended up with the wrong card in your wallet based on your spending. And this happens every day to millions of people. So we come in and we provide a free solution where people can sign up. It takes less than 5 minutes where they link their current credit and debit accounts. We pull back all their past spending history, and we're able to make personalized recommendations, and I'll show you those in a bit when we go through the demo. And this cuts out hours or weeks of doing research and reading through all this content and having to find that personalized data, and we just give it to our consumers on a silver platter. So I'll give you a real case study. This is my dad. Very common use case where for 15 years he was using his American Express card almost exclusively. He finally got a second card in his wallet, a Marriott card, and for a while he was just using these two cards, earning around $1,000 a year in rewards after subtracting the annual fees and adding in the benefits. And when we actually ran his spending through our tool, we were able to more than double the rewards that he would earn annually just by switching out a few cards in his wallet. We recommended the Uber card for his dining, the Chase Sapphire card for his travel purchases, and then the Amex Platinum for flights and lounge access and all the perks that come with having that card as well. So I'll take you into an actual demo of the product live. And so this is in the app right now where we've taken my spending and run it against our system, and it's spitting out the optimal wallet for me based on the preferences that I have set. So it's recommending these three cards, a Wyndham card, Hyatt, and a Delta Reserve. And it actually shows what to use these cards for. So use this Chase Hyatt card for food and drink, flights, car and truck rental, restaurants. And then when you go into that card, it actually shows your personalized spending compared to all those cards' bonus categories and merchants. So if we scroll down past Hyatt, you can see on food and drink, flights, and car and truck rental, I spend $12,000 a year. That's 25,000 points in the World of Hyatt program. And then what's cool is we convert all these points and miles to a dollar value, and that's how we're able to benchmark all these cards against each other. So it doesn't matter if it's cash back or miles. At the end of the day, we take your preferences and convert them to that dollar value on these programs. If we tap on Missed Rewards in the navigation menu, so this is the analysis of what you have in your wallet currently. So one of the things we realized was that people were signing up and they already have 3 or 4 credit cards, but they don't know how to use them. So we would actually look at the spending they were doing on their existing cards and figure out ways that they could better improve their everyday spending without even applying for a new card. So for example, if you tap on grocery there, in the last 3 months, I've missed out on $11 in rewards because I haven't used my Amex everyday card, and these are actual purchases where I've used a different card in my wallet and missed out on rewards, and I already have those cards in my wallet. And that's real money over the course of a year on average. It ends up being around $200 to $400 for every person that has multiple cards in their wallet. So we can go back into the presentation. And so on mobile, we do this in real time. So you can download the app. We're live on the iOS store building an Android app right now. Where if you're shopping somewhere and you want to know what card to use before you actually swipe, you can pull up the app. It uses geolocation, figures out where you're shopping. Once you tap on an actual restaurant or grocery store, it actually shows the best card in your wallet to use, and then compares it to all the other cards that you have and shows you why that card is actually optimal for that purchase. Each year, it's estimated that around $14 billion worth of rewards go missed. That's not the rewards that are actually earned. This is just the reward value that people could be earning if they were using their cards properly. There's 3.3 billion outstanding loyalty programs in the US, and 50 million US consumers who choose a card based on rewards every single year. And each year in the US, 60 million new cards are issued. So it's a pretty big market for us to tap into. We really love the personalization aspect and bringing all this to the consumer, which hasn't been done before. And so It's quite obvious who our competitors are. It's every single site that offers lead generation for credit cards, because at the end of the day, that's who we're competing with. We're providing a personalized, logged-in solution that we think consumer mentality is shifting to. So we think people are kind of tired of reading repetitive blogs on sites, and they want to actually just figure out the research that they should have and be done and on their way and have the right cards in their wallet and do almost like a tune-up every single year. And that's the mentality that we're hoping to build a solution for. And that's it. Thanks so much.
All right, I'll start. How do you guys make money? And are you live today? And how's it going?
Yeah, we're live today. We have tens of thousands of monthly active users, and we make money similar to all the other lead generation sites. So we send that lead off to the bank. If they apply and get approved, we get paid with the banking partner.
What kind of engagement do you see with your consumers post the transition on the card? So once you send out the lead, are people coming back to the site to monitor their spending habits, to look at what preferences they should be shifting their spend around towards?
Yeah, around a quarter of our users actually log in 2 to 3 times a week to check their spending. They've sort of shifted away from like a Mint or another budgeting tool because most of our consumers don't really care about budgeting. They already have their finances in play. We don't target a subprime or it's mainly near prime and prime consumers who have multiple cards. They spend enough to earn rewards. So they use us as an alternative to those budgeting tools. Over time, ideally, they wouldn't even use us that much because they'd learn how to use all their cards the right way. And that's sort of the email engagement that we target has anywhere from 40 to 60% open rates each week.
And is the data that you have on the spending, so the recommendation around the cards for what cards someone should use in a particular scenario, is that data difficult to maintain? Are you piping that in from third parties? How are you managing that data feed?
Yeah, there's a lot of layers on top of once we get back that transactional feed from like an API partner. And we're partnered with a couple of them to actually ingest all those transactions. But then everything from a credit card perspective, rewards perspective, like all the data that goes within building these models is all proprietary, and we have to maintain that for over 200 cards.
Do you predict the likelihood of me being accepted for a card?
We do. So it's
included?
self-reported credit right now. So you go in and you say, I have a 750 credit score, and then we look at cards that fit that spending. We're looking at other ways of adding in different layers of what cards you already have that are open. If we identify that you're a college student, figuring those aspects out. But ideally, your preferences will narrow down to cards that you'd most likely get approved for.
Right, got it. And how do you think about distribution? So when you look at that list of competitors, right, including Doug as an example, these are pretty formidable. They have big budgets. They have a lot of experience. They have more money than you do. So can you just talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. They have bigger marketing budgets than we do, so we rely on as much organic word of mouth as possible. We partner with different content sites to drive leads to us, and then of course we're pushing those leads. And then there's the opportunity for us to partner and white label, which we've had discussions about before, where we already have everything built, and these companies do have the large sort of top of funnel reach. So, and we can push that top of reach to the mid-funnel conversion and then get them into a card.
Right. And so what you guys have built is you have a nice, terrific UI, and then you've sort of mapped the data, right? Is that so? If you're Doug and you're thinking about buying a company like this, I'm making this up. Is that how they would think about, or any of the Credit Karma, et cetera? How would they think about, hey, what you guys do that's super innovative? Is it in addition to those two things, or those two things?
And let me just add on, what makes your technology either not copyable or difficult for somebody else to just throw 50 developers at it and say, oh, do that too? Sort of the way Matt did to me when he started lowering my bills.
It took us about a year to get the platform off the ground because it included modeling out the entire credit card reward landscape. It's a lot easier to throw up a site that just takes in a feed from Barclay or Chase or someone and shows all that information. So if someone wanted to go into it, they'd have to rebuild an entire credit card model. They'd have to plug into consumer spending. We have layers of merchant normalization, categorization, looking at the specific merchant category codes that are excluded by a program's term and conditions. So we get down to that level of granularity, and then being able to, presented in that way to a consumer.
Right. Well, I have one other question. Can you suck in like Place IQ data or location data so that you're prompting me? Sorry. Can you suck in mobile location data so that you're prompting me on my phone so I can look at it as opposed to me first looking, going into the app, and looking around?
Yeah, that's our goal, is to
Okay.
send those ambient alerts when you're shopping, and then
Right.
you get a notification. But for us to build it in-house, obviously we'd send a bunch of spammy notifications, most likely, given the accuracy of geolocation right now. So we would have to partner with one of those guys. We could do it. It just hasn't been a priority for
Right.
us right
Okay.
now.
Here comes the hook.
Oh,
Thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Great.
Thanks.
Good job.